Hi everyone, I'm the director for our New Zealand registered not-for-profit called Common Knowledge Trust. And we have several goals as a trust. One is to just advocate that you and your family and anybody else can use any and all forms of healthcare systems that you want, together or sequentially. And with COVID long haul, this is very important because we have a medical system that really doesn't know how to treat, cure, or eliminate the acute phase of COVID, much less the long haul symptoms. Our other goal is that we just believe in self-help. We believe that if we can get a handle on how we can help ourselves, that's good. I personally am a naturopath. I've been one for 50 years. I had COVID in March of 2020, experienced a lot of symptoms after the acute phase, was very hesitant to join any of the Facebook groups, and I finally have, and I've decided that I just need to share some of the skills that I use, some of the skills that have helped me, some of the skills that have helped others that I've worked with over the past few months. And the breathing is really, really important. Now, many people actually were breathless before they got COVID. They just didn't recognize that they were, and COVID has exacerbated it. Some of us weren't so breathless and became much more breathless. Now, I'm taking this video based on this wonderful BBC program called Trust Me, I'm Your Doctor by Michael Morsley. And they do informal research. That means we just try things and then we report back. And we do our best. There's no way that we can get into your home and see whether you've done any of this. So when you comment on social media, be thoughtful about what you're commenting about. If you tried it once and didn't do anything for the next week and say it didn't work, nobody knows what you've actually done. And so all I'm doing is giving you the skills and the steps. How long does it take to become less breathless? It takes time. Is it worth it? It was to me. Right? So these are two exercises that came from two different systems. One system is the Buteyko system. Buteyko was a Russian physician who very successfully treated many, many forms of breathlessness. His method was very unique, and I'm an advanced instructor of it. The box breathing I stumbled across. There are many breathing methods. James Nestor, Nestor, I haven't read his book, but it's a plug for his book called Breathe or Breath, depending on how you pronounce it. And he was an investigative reporter who's recently published a book in 2020, I think. And the book just researches all the different breathing methods. And his conclusion is that all breathing methods work for their purpose. So the purpose of box breathing is to slow your breathing down. Breathlessness is that we are breathing too much and too fast. The goal of Buteyko isn't to slow it down, it's to develop greater carbon dioxide tolerance in the breathing center in your brain and to develop the production distribution of nitric oxide in your sinuses that you then draw in through an inhale. So this is the Buteyko skills first. In this informal experiment, what happens if you do both of them? Do both of them. We don't care. We have no way to judge what you're doing. So we have no validity in what we're doing. However, if you get any improvement, that's good for you. How much improvement when I work with people do I expect? Well, most people expect 100% improvement. They'd settle for 95. They don't like 50%. They're not happy with 20%. And they're definitely not happy when I say to them, did you experience 0.000000000000000001%? But the reality is if you have any improvement, that's an improvement. So we have to change our mindset. We have an expectation that the medical profession can cure us or fix it. And we are finding with COVID that isn't the capacity at the moment within our medical systems globally. So we are left with three things. Wait until they can. do nothing or try to do things for ourselves. I'm in the category of we do things for ourselves. So here's the Buteyko. This is their first exercise. It's called unblock the nose. When we breathe in our nose. It goes up here, down here to our diaphragm, and then it reverses and come out. If we have a blocked nose, then we are impeding our respiratory system. When our respiratory system is out of whack, when we're mouth breathers, when we're breathing too fast and we're breathing too much, that stimulates our sympathetic nervous system, which constricts our blood flow to every place, and it constricts our lungs, the alveoli in our lungs, and we get tense, we get anxious, we get that fright, flight, fight, and freeze, which so many people report as long-haul COVID patients, and they think that this is psychological. Well, everything is psychological and biological at the same time, because guess what? Your mind, emotions, and body are you. So they're all tied together. So Buteyko, when you do this, you have to do this somewhat very specifically. You are going to take a normal breath in, and I'm going to repeat it. It's a normal breath in. So this is what my normal breath in looks like. It does not look like this. If you find yourself, as you come into this exercise doing this, just stop, because that's not what you want to do. That's sucking air in. You don't want to do that. You just want to have breathed in and then begin to breathe out and pinch your nose. Okay? So, and you're going to then keep your nose pinched until you feel any desire to breathe in, and then you're going to breathe in your nose. And then you're going to do 6 breath cycles, in and out, 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 before you do a slight exhale after your next inhale. Pinch your nose again, and you're going to repeat this 3 to 5 times. And then you can do this during the day as another time 3 to 5 times, and another time 3 to 5 times. So what are the steps? You breathe out after a normal inhale, pinch your nose. As soon as you feel anything, you breathe in your nose, that's the nitric oxide. You breathe it in and welcome it, and then you do 6 breath cycles before you repeat it. And then you do 3 to 5 of those, and wait later in the day, and do it again. And you're going to do this for a week. What you're going to do by doing this is unblock your nose, get your nose clearer. You're going to begin to reset your carbon dioxide tolerance, and you're going to begin to produce, and then as you breathe in, distribute the nitric oxide into your system. And the nitric oxide is a massive vasodilator. When you increase your carbon dioxide tolerance, it separates the oxygen from the hemoglobin, and you get to use the oxygen more in your tissues and your organs, which gives you more energy and less fatigue. Okay, so I'm going to do just 2 of these, or this video is going to be forever, okay? So I'm going to and I can't talk while I'm doing this, okay? So I want you to watch what I do. How long you pinch your nose is determinant on any feeling. So you can unpinch your nose instantaneously. As you get better, you can keep your nose pinched for longer, but any feeling you have anywhere, then breathe in your nose. You do not want to be trying to hold your breath. Let me repeat that. You are not going to be trying to hold your breath. You are merely having a pause and breathing in as soon as you feel you need to breathe in. And for many of us who were breathless, it's instantaneous. That's okay. Just the pinching the nose, unpinching it is fine. You will grow over time your CO2 tolerance, and your ability will improve, even if it's 0.000 ad nauseum 1. Okay, so now I'm going to stop talking and show you. Now, because you're going to be more breathless than I am, because I worked on this for years before I got COVID, and I continue to work with it. This is what it may look like for you, because you may be a chest breather. I'm a belly breather. That's another conversation. So if you're a chest breather already, this may be what it looks like to you, and I'm going to do it 2 times. If that is what you're doing right now, that's okay. As you gain more confidence, then your breathing's going to settle down and you're going to feel more comfortable. We're asking in this video, because we're doing a Trust Me, I'm Your Doctor informal research, is just if you choose the Buteyko, do it 3 times a day, 3 to 5 breaths with 6 breaths in between, and see how you feel at the end of the week. How do you remember where you were? Well, you can write it down. It's called journaling. And if you don't feel like writing it down, it doesn't matter. This is informal. So that's the Buteyko. You can go onto YouTube and find Unblock the Nose Buteyko skill or breathing. Everything that I do is public. We have Google now. My goodness, just use a lot of Google YouTube stuff and a lot of Google stuff. It's very easy. So it's Unblock the Nose. It's Buteyko, Buteyko. Okay, so those in the long haul groups want to do Buteyko for a week, that's fine. Here's the box breathing. Box breathing is another method. I have no idea who started it, doesn't matter. It was introduced to me some time ago, thought it was interesting. Its purpose is to slow down how many breaths per minute you're taking. The average person takes 12 to 20. Good idea for you to just count how many times you're breathing a minute. People who have efficient and are not breathless breathe between 6 and 12 breaths a minute. The monks and meditators are breathing less than that, 3 breaths a minute. And we're sitting there as breathless people going, what are you talking about? So box breathing is a method that slows your breathing down in a conscious manner. When you start, you want to just do this on a 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. And this is an informal 1 second. This is not that you take a stopwatch and do this. Okay? Then you extend it 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. To 3, 3, 3, 3. And then if you can, 4, 4, 4, 4. And if you can, 5, 5, 5, 5. When you're breathing 5, 5, 5, 5, you are breathing 3 breaths a minute. So you want to understand that when we slow down our breathing, this also activates our parasympathetic nervous system and deactivates the sympathetic nervous system. The Buteyko does the same thing. It just does it approaching this from a slightly different angle. Is that good? Sure, it's great that we have lots of choices that can do the same thing. Okay? So what you're going to find where you're most comfortable. However, if you experience a lot of breathlessness, you're going to breathe in 1 second, hold for 1 second, breathe out for 1 second, hold for 1 second, and you're going to repeat doing this, if you can, for 5 minutes, and you're going to do it 3 times a day. If you can't do 5 minutes, do it once and repeat it 3 times a day. Second day, you may be able to do it twice and repeat it 3 times a day. Or you may find that breathing 1 second is really too fast and you need to do 2 seconds in, 2 seconds hold, 2 seconds out, 2 seconds hold. You may find that's even too fast, and unbeknowingly you can do 3 seconds in, 3 seconds hold, 3 seconds out, 3 seconds hold. And if you can repeat that for 5 minutes, then you do it 3 times a day, and you do it for a week and see whether your breathing improves. Why not? What else are we spending our time doing? A lot of the comments on the long haul groups are people who are in a panic. And if we do not teach each other how to help ourselves, we have a problem. Medical profession doesn't have a problem. It's trying. We have a problem. Individually and collectively. We are the first generation of COVID long-haul people, and we have a responsibility to begin to try things and see what works and nitpick the crap out of all of this and improve it. We need to help ourselves, and we need to help each other and pass it on. So this is what box breathing is. I'm going to do it first with 1 second. That's not how I'm comfortable doing it. I am comfortable with around 4 or 5 seconds because I'm not a particularly breathless person. Of course I get breathless, but I extend my ability not to be breathless because I use skills like Buteyko or box breathing to grow the carbon dioxide tolerance, to just produce and distribute nitric oxide, and open up my cardiovascular system so that the carbon dioxide tolerance can disassociate the oxygen from my blood, circulate it through my organs and tissues, which means I feel less tired, and that I don't breathe as often per minute. I don't tire my body out. I also am a nose belly breather, but that's for another day. So however you breathe, it's going to be okay. So I'm going to just do it 1, 1, 1, and I'm going to do it 2 times, and then I'm going to do it 3, 3, 3, and I'm going to do that 2 times. Okay, so I'm not going to talk, right? So you can follow along and extend it. So, and I'm going to, you may not see me breathe. Okay, if you breathe 1 in, hold, 1 out, hold, 1 in, hold, 1 out, hold, 1 in, hold, 1 out, hold. That's how you breathe, okay? I breathe more calmly. That's okay. It doesn't matter. There isn't perfect in this. We're just doing this, okay? So it's what 1 second looks like. We've now had 4 seconds, 8 seconds. So you do the calculation how many breaths per minute that is. Okay, 8 seconds out of 60 seconds. Okay, so if I do 3, 3, 3, 3, and I do that twice, I'm doing 3, 3, 3, 3, which is 12 seconds in 60 seconds. Okay, so that's how many breaths per minute you are. So if you do 5, 5, 5, 5, then that is 20 seconds in 60 seconds. So that's 3 breaths per minute. Okay. And doing it 3 means you're breathing more frequently. Ultimately, your goal over time, however long that takes, it can be a few months, that's okay. you are getting your breathing down to between 6 and 12 breaths a minute rather than 12 to 20. When I started becoming an instructor at Buteyko, I was breathing 20 times per minute. And that was sitting down. And I thought I was breathing well because I was a nose-nose belly breather. I was breathing well. I was a nose-nose belly breather. I was breathing too much, right? So I was breathless. I was doing it in a better manner, but I was still breathless. Okay, so this is 3. That's box breathing. So you can do whichever you want. Once again, this is an informal research project based on the BBC TV show called Trust Me, I'm Your Doctor, which means that they took a bunch of people informally and just had them do something about a something, and then they took a look at it. Yes, they had doctors doing blood tests and all sorts of VO2 max testing and all sorts of stuff and weighing and measuring. We don't have that capacity. We're working online at a distance with one another. What we do is have the capacity of people to be honest and frank, to really do it, and to just tell each other what's helping, even a little bit. So once again, with the Unblock the Nose from Buteyko, you're going to do 3 to 5 repetitions and 3 sets a day for a week. The box breathing, you're going to do 3 to 5 repetitions 3 times a day for a week. If you want to do more, do more. But it should be not because you're in a competition, but because it feels good to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And what does that feel like? You feel calmer. A calmness is what is comforting in our body. When our sympathetic nervous system is activated, we get more wiry, we get more alert, we get more energized. Modern society is addicted to the sympathetic nervous system, and I will bet 10 billion gazillion dollars that the majority of people on the long-haul Facebook groups, without knowing, without blame, shame, or guilt, were very active in their sympathetic nervous system before they got COVID, and it has just put it into hyperdrive. So if you really don't know what it's like to feel calm, then doing these exercises will help you feel calm. That is not a switch for forever I am calm and I'm never going to be energized or on edge again. It's that we can choose how to get to the parasympathetic response. And I do it, one of the ways I do it is by using breathing. It's not the only way. There are brain waves out there. There's calming music out there. There's meditation out there. There's just reminding yourself, stop being so nervous and just calm down. Lots of ways to do this. Never any shame, blame, guilt. That's what's important. Never any shame, blame, guilt. You're a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. Our goal is not to become perfect. Our goal is to perfect our capacities, whatever they mean to us. That's what common knowledge is our ability. And we have a shared ability. Okay? That's the end of today. I'm posting this in several long haul groups. If you're watching this on YouTube, please share it. Please comment. And if you have any suggestions for any experiments, please let me know. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.